The Google for Games Developer Summit is currently happening, and we're here to wrap up all the news that's come directly from the event. We're going to be talking about some major changes happening to the Stadia storefront, some new updates on the white labeling side of Stadia, but we're going to begin by talking about what everyone's been hyping up all this past week, and that's the potential of making it much easier to port your Windows games over to Stadia using a Wine-like emulation layer. So, are we going to suddenly see an influx of Windows games straight ported to Stadia without any work involved at all? No, of course not. But that doesn't mean there's nothing interesting coming from it. Today, Stadia announced low change porting. It's their latest efforts to make it easier for companies to bring their games over to Stadia, and its entire purpose is to minimize the amount of work needed to be done for bringing your games from Windows to Linux. Now, what's possibly most exciting about this news is that they're already working with some studios to use this toolkit. In fact, one of the recently announced games that will be coming soon, City Skylines, is using exactly this. Later this year, the low change porting toolkit will be made more widely available to developers, but right now they've partnered up with the following studios: Handy Games, Legacy Games, Milestone SRL, Nacon, Paradox Interactive, Saber Interactive, Steel Wool Studios, Team 17, and Wired Productions. The fact alone that they're using it does suggest that we should be able to expect games coming from all of these studios and teams, so look forward to that. Simply put, this is great news. Anything that helps reduce cost and development time for studios to bring their games over is just a big positive. Next up, let's talk about a pretty big change happening to the Stadia storefront. Very soon, you'll be able to visit the Stadia store without even having to have a Stadia account set up. You'll easily be able to find games and free demos and play them directly. This change will be rolling out in the coming weeks, and I think it's for the better. I never really understood why they forced you to make a Stadia account just to access the storefront. It didn't make much sense, and honestly, that free trial button probably scared away a lot of people. Let's not forget the countless comments made about Stadia requiring a subscription to play, which we all know isn't true. I wouldn't be surprised if that free trial button actually scared away some of those people into thinking that they needed to pay to play. Hopefully, we'll see more UI changes in the future. I would really like to see some new TV UI because scrolling through 100 games on a sideways bar just isn't it. But now let's move on to the last big takeaway from this event, and it has to do with white labeling. For those that don't know, that's the act of selling your back-end technology to another company while they relabel its service as their own. Up until this point, we've only had the Business Insider article calling it Google Stream, but today Google gave it an official name: Immersive Stream for Games. This was first shown off last year when AT&T announced that it would be streaming Batman Arkham Knight to their customers using something that looked a lot like Stadia. Today, AT&T announced that they will continue this partnership and will be introducing a new game soon for AT&T customers to enjoy. Now look, I know a lot of people here really dislike the idea of white labeling Stadia, but the truth is that I think it may end up being a benefit for the platform overall. And that's because Stadia is the backbone of what's being white labeled here. Any money that gets made from white labeling is just going to be continued investment into Stadia's platform, and it's stated as much directly from Google Stadia's co-founder. A rising tide for cloud gaming lifts immersive stream for games as well as Stadia, and we're excited for what's to come in 2022 and beyond. There's no reason to believe that both Stadia and immersive stream for games can coexist. In fact, they're one and the same. If one becomes successful, the other will only benefit from it. And we need to be honest about something here. It should come to no surprise that Stadia had a major shift in plans recently. If anything, this was made clear last year when they shut down their first-party studios. They're now focusing on the development side and making sure games are easy to bring over to the service, and I genuinely believe that's the right call. But Stadia is going to take some time to kick off. They're kind of reorganizing the structure of what Stadia is to bring more games in, and this might take some time to fully implement. We're starting to see it with low change porting, but that's just getting started. If Immersive Stream for Games can find a way to profit off Stadia's technology further today while they reorganize the structure of what Stadia was supposed to be, that's a good thing. At least, that's how I see it. At the end of the day, we're really early into what this all means, and we'll have to see how it all plays out. But with that, we've summarized all the big Stadia-related news to come from the Google for Games Developer Summit. There are a lot more technical details that were shared in the developer sessions. If that's something you'd be interested in me making a video on, let me know down below. But I will ask, if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. As always, this has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.